Ladies and gentlemen, there's an undeniable allure in a woman who knows her worth. A woman who walks into a room with her head held high, who understands that her value doesn't lie in anyone's gaze or approval. That kind of woman, confident, independent, and unapologetically herself, is magnetic. A woman's independence is one of her most powerful qualities. It's not just about being able to take care of herself. It's about embracing her individuality and knowing her worth. Independence allows her to stand strong in her own identity, free from the need to constantly seek validation or approval from others. In a world where society often places a heavy emphasis on relationships and partnerships, a woman who stands confidently in her own space is magnetic. When a woman is independent, she is not looking for someone to complete her. She is already whole, fully aware of her capabilities, strengths, and aspirations. This self-sufficiency doesn't just apply to her material or financial situation, but also to her emotional landscape. She is secure in her emotions, unafraid to express her feelings, but equally capable of processing and managing them without relying on anyone to fix or validate her. She understands that her happiness and fulfillment are not contingent on someone else's actions or opinions. This sense of self-reliance makes her a beacon of attraction. There is a magnetic energy that comes from a woman who has found peace in her own company, who does not feel the pressure to constantly seek someone else's attention. She walks with a quiet confidence, knowing that her worth does not hinge on external circumstances. Her independence gives her an aura of mystery because she doesn't give everything away at once. She has her own passions, her own dreams, and a life that is fulfilling in its own right. She does not need anyone to define her, and that kind of self-assurance is incredibly alluring. People are drawn to her because they see someone who is capable, strong, and unafraid to stand alone. There's a certain strength that comes from being self-sufficient, and it's evident in every aspect of her life, whether she's excelling in her career, pursuing her passions, or simply living her life on her own terms. She commands respect. Her independence shows that she is not easily swayed by external influences, and she refuses to settle for anything less than what she deserves. This not only makes her irresistible, but also inspires others to seek a similar sense of autonomy in their own lives. Moreover, a woman's independence often invites admiration from those around her, not out of pity or obligation, but out of genuine respect. People admire the way she carries herself, the way she makes decisions without fear of judgment, and the way she moves through the world with purpose and clarity. Her self-sufficiency isn't a barrier to connection. It's a catalyst for deeper, more meaningful relationships. She doesn't need to chase anyone for validation, yet those who are drawn to her find themselves wanting to be a part of her world because of the depth and richness she brings to every interaction. In relationships, an independent woman doesn't cling or depend on someone else to fill the void. Instead, she brings her whole self to the table, offering her love, care, and companionship from a place of abundance, not neediness. Her independence doesn't make her distant or unavailable. Rather, it enhances her ability to be present when she chooses, bringing more value and quality to the connection. This dynamic creates a space for mutual respect and admiration, making her not only attractive but also an equal partner in any relationship. Confidence is undeniably one of the most captivating traits a woman can possess. It is the quiet assurance she carries, rooted in her own sense of self-worth, and it radiates in every aspect of her life. When a woman is confident, she doesn't seek approval from others to feel valid. Instead, she embraces who she is, accepting both her strengths and imperfections. And that comfort with herself becomes magnetic. Her confidence isn't about arrogance or being perfect, it's about being authentic and unapologetically herself. A confident woman walks through the world with a sense of ease because she knows that her value doesn't depend on others' perceptions or expectations. She understands her own worth and doesn't shy away from showing it. This type of woman doesn't need to conform to the latest trends or live up to societal standards to feel validated. She creates her own path, guided by her inner compass, and this independence is deeply compelling. When a woman is comfortable in her skin, she is liberated from the constraints that others place on her, and this sense of freedom makes her more attractive to those around her. Her confidence shows in her choices. She makes decisions based on what she believes is right for her, not because she is trying to please others or fit into a mold. Whether it's in her career, her relationships, or her personal goals, She owns every decision she makes, fully aware that her choices shape her life. This decisiveness and clarity of purpose are magnetic qualities because they signal strength and conviction. People are drawn to her because she is sure of herself, and they respect her ability to navigate life with such confidence. Furthermore, a confident woman doesn't need validation from others to feel secure in her life. She is the author of her own story, choosing how to live and who to surround herself with based on her values and aspirations. This level of self-assurance allows her to remain grounded no matter what challenges or opinions may come her way. She understands that life isn't about pleasing others or living up to external expectations. It's about living authentically and staying true to herself. This clarity and self-acceptance create an aura that draws others to her. Her confidence is not only internal but also manifests outwardly. The way she carries herself, the way she speaks, and even the way she interacts with others reflects her belief in herself. When she speaks, her words carry weight because she knows that her opinions matter. She isn't afraid to express her thoughts, even if they go against the grain, because she trusts in her own judgment. Her body language exudes self-assurance, whether she is standing tall, making eye contact, or smiling with ease. Every movement, every gesture speaks to the deep-rooted confidence she holds within herself. When a woman is confident in her own skin, she is naturally magnetic. She doesn't need to constantly seek reassurance or approval. Instead, her very presence creates an environment where others feel comfortable, inspired, and motivated. Confidence allows her to be open and vulnerable in relationships without the fear of rejection or judgment, because she understands that her value isn't determined by anyone else's acceptance. It is this quiet strength that draws people in as they see in her a reflection of the power of self-acceptance and the beauty of living authentically. Emotional detachment, when practiced healthily, can be one of the most intriguing and captivating qualities a woman can embody in a relationship. It's not about coldness or withdrawal, but about maintaining a sense of self amidst the emotional dynamics of a partnership. A woman who can detach emotionally knows how to protect her own emotional well-being while allowing for a deep connection without losing herself. This balance creates an air of mystery and excitement because it shifts the focus from emotional dependence to emotional freedom, allowing the relationship to flourish on its own terms. When a woman maintains emotional detachment, she doesn't become consumed by the need to constantly seek reassurance or validation from her partner. She does not measure her worth based on the relationship's ups and downs or the attention she receives. This sense of emotional independence fosters a sense of intrigue. There is something magnetic about a woman who doesn't seem to be emotionally swayed by every interaction. Her composure suggests that she is comfortable in her own emotional space, and this creates an element of mystery that others find deeply attractive. They are drawn to her because they can sense that she is not easily moved or manipulated by emotional triggers, and they find themselves wanting to learn more about her quiet strength. Moreover, emotional detachment allows for excitement in the relationship as it introduces a dynamic where both partners have the freedom to miss each other, to anticipate each other's presence, and to look forward to the next moment of connection. Without the constant need for emotional validation or the pressure to constantly be on emotionally, the relationship can breathe and grow at its own pace. When someone isn't overly attached, there is room for spontaneity and surprise. The partner becomes intrigued by the sense of space and freedom that the emotionally detached woman offers, and it creates a dynamic where both individuals can explore and rediscover one another continuously. This detachment also enhances the element of chase and excitement. In relationships where one person is overly invested or dependent emotionally, the energy can sometimes feel draining or overly predictable. However, when emotional detachment is present, it fosters an exciting uncertainty. There's an allure in not knowing exactly what someone is thinking or feeling at all times. The ebb and flow of emotional closeness and distance creates a dance of anticipation and desire as both partners are left with space to wonder, think, and reflect on the connection. The woman who can detach emotionally invites a subtle tension into the relationship, a tension that keeps things interesting and sparks the desire to keep engaging. Furthermore, emotional detachment isn't about shutting down or avoiding vulnerability. Rather, it's about choosing when to share, when to pull back, and when to honor one's own emotional needs. It's about having the discipline and strength to not become overly reliant on another person for emotional fulfillment. By maintaining this balance, the woman in question ensures that her emotional well being is self sustained, creating a relationship that is not emotionally needy, but emotionally rich. She encourages a partnership where both people can grow as individuals while still enjoying the connection they share. The mystery she creates, paired with the excitement of space and independence, draws her partner in deeper, fostering a more passionate and engaging relationship. In any relationship, the delicate balance between giving space and being emotionally available is key to maintaining a healthy dynamic. A woman who understands this balance is incredibly attractive because she creates an environment where both individuals can grow and thrive without becoming overly dependent on each other. The ability to give space while still being emotionally available allows both partners to maintain their individuality while deepening their connection. This freedom in a relationship fosters mutual respect and desire because it eliminates the pressure of constant closeness and allows for genuine, organic attraction to develop. Clinginess often stems from a place of insecurity or the fear of losing a partner. It's the need to be constantly emotionally available or present, perhaps to the detriment of one's own well being. But a woman who values her own independence and emotional health knows that she doesn't need to constantly seek attention or validation to feel secure in a relationship. Instead, she gives space, understanding that both individuals need time to nurture their own interests, passions, and personal growth. This space doesn't signify a lack of love or care. It's a sign of trust and confidence in the relationship. When both partners have the freedom to explore their own worlds, they are able to bring fresh energy and new perspectives into the connection, keeping the relationship dynamic and exciting. The space a woman creates in a relationship also invites curiosity and intrigue. When someone isn't constantly available or overly dependent, it keeps the relationship from feeling too predictable or suffocating. The partner is left with something to look forward to, a desire to connect more deeply because there is room to breathe. This subtle distance fosters the natural longing and appreciation that often arises when two people are apart. Instead of taking each other for granted, they begin to miss each other, and that anticipation heightens the attraction. It's the tension of having space that creates a desire for closeness, making each moment together feel more meaningful and special. Moreover, when a woman knows how to balance freedom and emotional availability, it allows her to be fully present when she chooses to be. Rather than draining her emotional energy by constantly being on, she has the ability to engage wholeheartedly in the relationship when she's ready. This emotional availability is powerful because it signals that she is there by choice, not out of obligation or fear. Her partner can sense this authenticity, and it creates a deeper connection because it is based on mutual respect and genuine desire rather than a need to fill emotional gaps. Giving space also allows for both partners to grow individually, which in turn strengthens the relationship. When a woman is emotionally available yet maintains her own identity, it sends a clear message that she values her own personal growth and encourages the same for her partner. It creates an environment where both individuals feel supported in their pursuits and there is no pressure to conform to someone else's expectations or needs. This freedom fosters a sense of equality and respect, and in turn, the relationship becomes more fulfilling. The balance between freedom and emotional availability is a powerful dynamic that can elevate a relationship. By offering space, a woman not only maintains her own sense of self, but also cultivates attraction, mystery, and a deeper emotional connection with her partner. It is in this balance that true intimacy and respect can flourish. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful expressions of self-respect and self-love. A woman who understands the importance of establishing and maintaining boundaries demonstrates a profound sense of inner strength. She knows that her emotional, mental, and physical well-being are her own responsibility, and that by setting clear boundaries, she not only protects herself but also fosters healthier, more balanced relationships. Boundaries are not walls that shut others out. Rather, they are the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and what isn't, ensuring that her needs, values, and personal space are respected. When others witness a woman setting these boundaries with confidence and grace, they are drawn to her strength and self-assurance. Self-respect is at the core of boundary setting. A woman who values herself understands that her time, energy, and emotions are precious and that she is worthy of respect and consideration. This understanding doesn't mean that she is unwilling to compromise or be there for others, but it means that she won't sacrifice her own well being to please anyone. She recognizes that her needs are just as important as those of the people around her, and she doesn't hesitate to communicate her limits when necessary. This clarity and assertiveness make her incredibly magnetic because it signals to others that she has a strong sense of self-worth. People are naturally drawn to those who value themselves, as it's a reflection of their own desire to be treated with the same respect. Setting boundaries also requires a deep sense of self-love. It's the recognition that in order to truly show up for others, she must first show up for herself. A woman who loves herself is not afraid to say no when something doesn't align with her values or needs. She knows that by setting these boundaries, she is honoring her own feelings, desires, and comfort levels. This self-love is not selfishness, rather, it is a necessary act of preservation. By choosing to protect her emotional and mental space, she ensures that she has the energy and clarity to nurture healthy, authentic relationships. This is an incredibly attractive trait because it reflects emotional maturity and wisdom. The way a woman sets boundaries speaks volumes about her strength. She doesn't have to raise her voice or demand respect forcefully. Her actions alone communicate that she is not to be taken for granted. Whether it's in personal relationships, friendships, or professional environments, a woman who knows how to say no, to express her needs, and to enforce her limits in a calm and composed manner becomes an embodiment of power. Her ability to maintain boundaries consistently shows that she is in control of her life and that she will not allow anyone to compromise her values or peace of mind. This type of strength is magnetic because it inspires others to recognize their own worth and set healthy boundaries in their own lives. Moreover, setting boundaries fosters mutual respect in relationships. When others see a woman who is clear about her needs and unwilling to tolerate disrespect, they are more likely to treat her with the same level of consideration. This creates a dynamic of equality and understanding, where both partners honor each other's space and individuality. A woman who sets boundaries is not pushing people away, rather, she is ensuring that relationships are based on respect and authenticity. It's in this balance of strength and vulnerability where boundaries are respected that true intimacy and connection can flourish. Unpredictability is a powerful force in relationships, one that keeps the connection dynamic, exciting, and full of intrigue. When a woman is unpredictable, it doesn't mean she's playing games or being evasive. Rather, she brings an element of surprise, spontaneity, and curiosity that fuels attraction. Relationships that become too routine can easily lose their spark, and the sense of knowing exactly what to expect from each other can cause the excitement to fade. However, when unpredictability is introduced, it adds layers of mystery, keeps both partners engaged, and ensures that there is always something to look forward to. The power of unpredictability lies in its ability to break the monotony and create moments of excitement and anticipation. A woman who embraces this quality doesn't fall into predictable patterns of behavior or routine. She knows that part of what makes life and relationships exciting is the unknown. She might surprise her partner with spontaneous plans, unexpected acts of kindness, or simply by showing up in a way that challenges the ordinary. This creates a sense of novelty that is stimulating and energizing for both parties. The unpredictability doesn't have to be grand. It could be as simple as a surprise note, an impromptu date, or an unexpected gesture that keeps the relationship fresh and full of life. The intrigue of the unpredictable also lies in its ability to prevent the feeling of being taken for granted. In relationships where everything is too predictable, both partners might start to take each other's presence for granted. There's no excitement in waiting for the next familiar routine, and the thrill of discovery is lost. However, when one partner is unpredictable, it introduces a playful tension that forces both people to pay closer attention, stay present, and be engaged in the moment. This sense of unpredictability keeps the spark alive because it reminds both individuals that there's always more to learn about each other and that the relationship is still evolving and growing. Unpredictability also creates an emotional depth that builds stronger connection. When you introduce the unknown into a relationship, it encourages both partners to embrace vulnerability and openness. There's a certain depth that comes with not always knowing what will happen next, and this uncertainty can help both individuals grow. When someone is unpredictable, they aren't just offering surface level experiences, They're offering an emotional challenge that pushes both partners to expand their understanding of themselves and each other. This emotional engagement is what strengthens the bond and keeps the relationship from becoming stagnant. Moreover, the power of unpredictability keeps desire alive. Desire in a relationship isn't solely based on physical attraction. It's also tied to the emotional and intellectual excitement that comes from learning new things about one another. When a woman remains unpredictable, it keeps her partner on their toes in the best way. They're always wondering what's next, and that sense of anticipation fuels the desire to stay close, pay attention, and maintain a deeper connection. Unpredictability allows for emotional space where both individuals can remain intrigued and invested in the relationship over time. In relationships, the unpredictable nature of one partner can create a beautiful balance between comfort and excitement. It is in the moments of surprise, of unexpected joy, that the bond deepens. It's a dance of maintaining that delicate balance where both partners are open to what comes next, trusting the unknown while also cherishing the familiar. This unpredictability ensures that the spark never dims and the relationship continues to evolve, always holding space for discovery and growth. So remember this, it's not about chasing anyone, it's about becoming the best version of yourself, standing tall in your independence, knowing when to step back, and never compromising on your self respect. Thank you.